What's up? What's up? Welcome into the award-winning Orange Zone podcast. A reminder, you can find every episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to listen. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up from the Skycam? We're sponsored by Billy Whitaker Cars and Trucks. Today, we are getting into Syracuse women's basketball. We have a Coach of the Year. We have a Player of the Year runner-up, and we have a team with a double bye heading into the tournament. This is a very exciting time for Felisha Legette-Jack and the Orange. I'm Tommy Sladek. We have Samantha Croston. We have Lawrence Moten. We have Rachel Culver on the producer mic. We are the full crew, and this thing's got to start with the news that broke last night. Felisha Legette-Jack, in her second season, ACC Coach of the Year. The first coach from the men's or women's basketball side to receive the award. Sam, your immediate reaction.
You guys, the video.
Oh,
the
my
video
gosh, pure.
Of her receiving that call. So on the Syracuse women's basketball Twitter, they had a video of the ACC commissioner, correct?
Jim Phillips, yep.
Jim Phillips calling her, and she picks up the phone, and, you know, he's giving her a couple of compliments, and then he's like, I do also just want to let you know that you're the Coach of the Year. It's the classic FLJ smile, like ear to ear. She's like, really? Mm-hmm. Like, no. And you hear everybody in the background like clapping, woohoo. And she's, oh, well, thank you so much. It was such a team effort. It's just like, it's like 60 seconds of greatness. Mm-hmm. Like, I have to say, there are certain things that they capture on that Cuse women's basketball team that I'm like, I almost want to just say, like, congrats, or wow, you're doing a great job to whoever is behind the lens and the camera, because they really do. They capture some great just like team moments, whether it's like the locker room or that. Like, that's a moment that she'll remember forever, and it felt so natural. It really felt like you were just kind of sitting in the room hearing the announcement with her.
Shout out Cuse video department, and and they got her hugging her assistant coaches right after the kind of the giant bear hug celebration. But let's talk about what she's done in her second year. You know, 2 years ago, this team, it was in that midst of Quentin Hillsman had left. Von Reed steps in, and they are at just one of the lowest points that program's ever been. And for her to come into her alma mater the first year, take them to the WNIT, to the Elite 8, Sweet 16, whatever that would have been, or Super 8, no, Super 16, forget. That's a story for another day. But she goes ahead in her second season, projected to finish 9th in the ACC. She gets the 3 seed in the tournament. She ties a program record for most wins in a season with 23 and ties a program record for most conference wins with 13. What do you think of your friend doing this?
Man, Felicia's phenomenal. You know, I wish I could have saw the video, Sam, because I'm here to tell you, once that camera went off, she probably stood up and said, I told you I was going to do this. I already expected it, because that's the type of girl she is. And I'm happy for her. You know, she's just a good person. She's a good motivator, you know, and she does one thing that I really appreciate just about coaching. You know, a lot of coaching is just not about basketball. She teaches these girls and these young ladies and even young men life skills. You know, how to be a good person, how to have good character, and what you put in this game is what you're going to get out of this game. And the hard work and the dedication she puts in, and she's reaping the benefits of it. So I'm happy for her, and it's all blessings.
It's all blessings. Dyaisha Fair gets first team all conference, runner-up for player of the year. Alyssa Latham gets also all freshmen. I know it sounded like I was choked up there. I think my nose just clogged up for a second.
No, you were choked up.
I was choked up. But, I mean, what a season. I think everyone's had the opportunity at this point to step back and really like look around and be like, okay, we're witnessing something pretty awesome here with this program. We have a player that's not going to be there next year, and it starts with FLJ. It starts with the coach. And Rachel, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I just think I don't know, like, it's just joy. You know, you feel like just so happy for these girls. You feel so happy for the community, and you feel so excited about the future. Like, all of it is just joy. That's all I have for it.
Well, that's why, I mean, I feel like very often we talk about when there is a new head coach, you know, giving them time to work with, giving them space. There's a lot to figure out. That's sort of what I want to draw everyone's attention to, is how quickly she made this transition from where the program was before her to where it is now. This was fast. And if you ask me if there is one coach that I could play for on Syracuse University's campus, I would pick FLJ. That'd be my top choice.
Me too. Me too. Absolutely. She's a motivator. She's serious when she needs to be. You could tell it's raw, you know? It's raw with her. And Fran Brown gives me the same energy of just someone where I feel like you are getting their complete authentic
you know
self.
What? I forgot about him too, though. I'm gonna have to see how this season
there's
goes
a
with
lot
them.
of. I would play for a lot of these people.
Honestly, it's so true.
Kayla Trainer, Adrian Autry, Ian McIntyre.
Yeah.
I'd play for all these people. Seriously,
yeah, absolutely.
They are absolute motivators. But let's talk about this tournament. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely set. Syracuse gets the 3 seed, so that means they get the double bye. That's what the SU men were striving for. But Syracuse gets it. They will face the winner of Florida State, the 6 seed, and then the winner of 11 seed Virginia and 14 seed Wake Forest. That starts on Wednesday night. So by the time you're listening to this, you'll have decided out of Virginia, Wake Forest, who ends up moving on in that game. But Syracuse has really had the number of all of them. So I think Friday night could absolutely be a big win. That's a 7:30 start on the ACC network. And the winner in this side of the bracket would have to get someone that runs through NC State, the same team that they just went to overtime with to end the regular season. So they can absolutely compete. And I think the big story with Syracuse that's different from the men and women is the women are in. Mm-hmm. They are solidified. They are locked into March Madness. So what do they still have to play for? And they are right on the fence. They are right now projected a 5 seed. On the women's side, the top 4 in each region get home games in the first 2 rounds. The Madness could come to the Dome, and they can do that by, I think, beating that first game in the quarterfinals. And if they were to knock out whoever's getting there in the semis, I think there's a legit shot that they move up. And depending on how everything goes, maybe they just need to win 1. But getting a top 4 would be great. And now
I want that so bad.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Come to the Dome, that would be amazing.
Yes, that would be beautiful.
And because that's the other thing is like I feel like all season FLJ has sort of been saying, you know, in her post-game press conferences and whatnot, it would be like, listen, we're not going to beg you to come. Mm-hmm. Like at some point, you're going to look, you're going to watch on TV, you're going to see us, and you're going to want to be here. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like people are begging to be there. Like even like my mom called me the other day. She's like, I really want to go to a Syracuse women's basketball game. Like they're so fun to watch. Like everybody is invested in it, and I feel like them being here would just be like that cherry on top of the cake. Plus, honestly, NC State, or you know what? Okay, that would actually be the next matchup. I see that now. But if they got to that point where they were playing NC State won, I would actually like that matchup. I feel like if you just went up against a team that you lost to, but not by a whole lot, to me that actually seems like prime time where you want to be playing them again. I'd feel comfortable with that. I really would.
And they have Notre Dame's number this year. Virginia Tech, I would like to see them avoid them until the championship if possible. That's a very good team. And I got the chance to speak with Felisha earlier today, which is Wednesday that we're recording this. And she had great answers for not just what it was like to receive the award, but she also gets into building this program, building the fan base. And she had an amazing quote when asked about what it would be like to play at home, which she said would be amazing, but she goes, we'll play anywhere. Take a listen to this one. Mm-hmm. So she said in it, she's like, yeah, getting home would be cool. She's like, but we'll go anywhere. She's like, I'll play in Thornton Park. All it is a chance to play. And I'm like, oh, man, playing in Thornton. That's great.
That's fire.
Anything else you want to hit on coming out of this?
Just ask me final thoughts because I do have something to say.
Okay. All right. So, everyone ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So FLJ, one of my favorite interviews. We call in on the news side and TV, we call people like Felisha Legette-Jack SOT machines, and SOTs are sound bites. And it's so hard to choose from when picking her because she just gives you everything.
Yeah. She is dropping absolute word bombs, just like you're like, that could go on TV, that could go on TV. But my final thought, one thing that I was thinking about, and this is like one of those times where I have to say I do miss Brendan Hodges, because I feel like he would have remembered this and he would have given me credit for this. Remember like weeks ago when we were doing an episode and we all predicted what's the highest that they'll be ranked in the AP? Mm-hmm. I said 17 and I was right. And nobody ever really like congratulated me on.
Well,
it.
you haven't been here, Sam.
Oh, she hasn't been here.
So I just
we
felt
haven't
like
had a chance
we
to
needed to acknowledge that like there was a winner.
Let's all pat Sam on the
me.
back. Let's all do
Can I give you a pat on the back?
I would love that.
There we go. Yeah, you get Otto.
I'll give her all.
Hold on, we got
give
a
her
crown
the crown.
over here.
Give her the crown.
Get her crown. Get the crown
It's only
out.
worn for special occasions. But Sam gets it.
Wow.
Yes.
But did we say just regular season? Does the AP poll still go in the post?
I would take it. I would cap it off once we enter ACC tournament.
What did I say? 10, 12?
You went high. Yes,
But
I'd have to look back at notes. I think I said 16.
Which I don't hate. I don't hate where I was at.
Yeah, I think
because
you were 10.
in that time they lost to. They had the bad loss to Duke at home. That was a bad one. But the NC State, if that turns into a win, then they're probably bumping up to like 15 or something at this point. But Sam nailed it. You really did nail it.
It really
Price
was
is right.
17. Yep, straight up. Thank you, everybody. That's all. Just wanted to say that.
Job.
Poetry, your final thoughts as they kind of head into the March gauntlet here.
Final thoughts. Good luck, Felisha, with your girls. I know you're going to have them ready. And another thing we can't forget about, too, and this is very important, and she brought her with her, this Dyaisha Fair Iverson.
Oh, yeah.
Without her coming from Buffalo with Felisha, we might be talking a different story.
And we're talking about 5th on the all-time scoring list right now.
Absolutely.
Caitlin Clark doing her thing. I think we're in the I consider a golden era for just women's college basketball. And I mean golden era, but I think we're just taking the next step here. Mm-hmm. Taking the next step. It's a great time. Fair's been incredible to cover. Seeing people like Alyssa Latham come in and make some noise as a freshman, to have grad student transfers like Isabel Varejao come in, have that experience from Michigan. All the pieces are there for them to really make some noise. And selfishly, I would love to see them home at the Dome, as that would be fun, man.
Games would be beautiful.
And have the madness here at the Dome, like just that energy. Yeah. I don't know what that would feel like. It would be amazing.
Right? Like selfishly, I would like to be off and just attend that as a fan.
Yeah. And Albany's a regional this year. So if they were to end up staying just in upstate New York all the way to get to Cleveland in the Final Four, ooh,
that'd be nice.
Home games all the way. Rachel, final thoughts?
I'm excited. Where I feel most nervous about like the men's team, all of that energy is like redirected in the most positive way about this team. You know what I mean?
It's healthy.
Everything that I'm like about with this men's team, it's just like the potential here is crazy, and I think we could be in for a wild ride with this team.
Let's go.
Yeah, and to get those 2 games at home, it would be so beautiful to see 10 or 15,000 in the Dome for a women's game. I think that would be very nice.
I think it was Virginia Tech had a record for 11,000, and it's we can do those numbers easy in that place. Easy. And if just the big dance were to come to Syracuse, the hype around that would just be, oh my gosh, I want it, I need it.
Yeah.
It would be special.
Yes.
Honestly, my last final thought, I'm actually going to give...
Did you already give your final thought?
I'm just going to have one last final thought. I'm just going to have one last second final thought.
You get the crown. You're allowed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's all good. But I was actually going to give you a pat on the back, shoulder.
Wow. Thank you.
Because also a few weeks ago, you were talking about the fact that once Varejao was back, it would be a different team. And it really was. I mean, you were right. You were right on the money with that. I really, really feel like now that she's back, she is such a contributor. She really has made the team different. Like, of course, when you talk about Dyaisha Fair, yes, we will be talking about a different story if she wasn't here. But I feel like Varejao, like I like her spark. I like her on-court presence. I feel like she always kind of has this like gritty sort of, maybe like sassy, just sort of loud energy that I like. And I feel like she's always sort of bringing everybody together. So props to you on that, because she made a difference.
Thank you. And I think it doesn't even mean points. It's just her presence. She's got the size. It just it blends well with Kyra Wood. It also allows, I think, just having her on that floor. I mean, Georgia Woolley in this time frame has been going off. The Aussie's been going nuts from 3 and all over the court. So just the pieces are in place. The puzzle looks great right now. And yeah, I'm going to see that puzzle up on the wall and framed, just like.
And I'm going to give you a pat on the back because I don't want you to feel left out. Everybody's
that's really nice.
Hey.
What's his pat on the back for?
I think just because Moten's a great guy, and I'm so lucky to get to have known him.
Wow.
Who's giving you a pat on the back?
I think Rachel that was really just Rachel wanting a pat on the back. All right, I'll give Rachel one.
No, I don't want your pity pat. I don't want your pity pat.
No, so this time of year,
pity pat.
Rachel is a full-time producer for our news shows. And on the days in which we're doing these podcasts and everything, Rachel, before and after the show, is still producing these newscasts. And she's making time for this. So I appreciate her. So thank you, Rachel.
Thank you,
Thank
Rachel.
you.
Yeah, if you cut the camera perfectly, it'll look like I'm giving you a pat on the back. You just got to make the impact.
I don't think I'm that good with my camera work.
We could have made it work. But that's the Orange Zone Podcast.
Right.
Billy Whitaker, Cars and Trucks. Appreciate you sponsoring us. Appreciate you letting us do this thing. We're out of here. Tommy Sladek, Lawrence Moten, Samantha Croston, Rachel Culver. I'm Tommy Sladek. I already said that. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.